Bless up, y'all people. Here back again at Shalom Health and Metaphysics Store. I am excited to have you here with me today. I got an amazing herb to share with you guys because you guys should have this a part of your first aid kit. And ladies, specifically ladies, definitely should have this for your monthly friend. Every month, you got to have this as a tea. It's going to help you so much. Guys, I got something very special I'm introducing to the world. If you don't know nothing about this, it is called shepherd's purse. Now, shepherd's purse has been well known in the Mediterranean area because it is native in that area. So the Middle East, the Asians, the Europeans, the Germans, they all know about this shepherd's purse. And why do they call it shepherd's purse? Because the seeds, they are developed inside of the pods, and they're very triangular shaped. And the shepherds in the Middle Eastern area would carry around this purse that looks very much so like those seed pods of the shepherd's purse plant. So as you see, it helps us with internal and external bleeding. And just to give a little history about it, the German soldiers was using this in their wars to help them with their bleeding issues. All right, so this is something that if you were about to go to the hospital, had to get some stitches done, this is something that you need to have right on hand, and it can stop the bleeding. You'll be amazed on how fast you'll be able to stop the bleeding. Also, if there was any type of bleeding ulcer, some type of small bowel obstruction where there was some bleeding going on internally, you might have seen it in your urine, which is called hematuria. If there was something going on inside of the urinary tract, the bladder was full, cystitis, something like that, creating some type of bleeding on top of the mucosal membranes, you see that bleeding, you automatically know that something internal is bleeding and you need to use the shepherd's purse. So that is something you guys will need in your apothecary, your first aid kit. Ladies, if you have ever dealt with fibroids, you know it bleeds between periods, and if you ever dealt with endometriosis, shepherd's purse may be able to help you stop that internal bleeding and external bleeding. Anybody that's dealing with a nosebleed, if you notice that those leaky capillaries are still dilated and it continues to bleed, this is anticoagulant, it's antithrombotic. Guys, you can use the shepherd purse on many different ways. Now, it is very strange that this particular plant is a part of the brassica family of vegetables. Because you already know about broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, those are part of the brassica vegetables, and they all have isothiocyanates and sulforaphane. With those key phyto ingredients, which are phytochemicals and antioxidants, they are known to be anti-tumors, anti-cancerous, they are immune modulators. Isothiocyanates, I use them for people that have sickle cell. So if you know somebody that is going through chemo and you need them to have more brassica vegetables, you can use the shepherd's purse to help them with that situation, because the sulforaphane will act as a superoxide to help those T cells and those dendritic cells to help them suppress tumor growth. So there's a phytochemical called fumaric acid in here, and it's very anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant. It has many different properties. It helps those cytokine production start to decrease. So you guys need to know about the shepherd's purse. It has some very good benefits. All the ladies need to have this a part of their regimen. If you are taking, just a side note, because a lot of people need to know this, if you are taking blood thinners, don't use this, okay? If you are taking thyroid medications, this will probably disrupt your energy metabolism. So you don't want to use this with levothyroxine and different type of synthroid medications. So you want to use this if somebody has had cystitis or some type of urinary tract infection, okay? It has diuretic properties. The Chinese medicine would call this dampness, congestion. You may see that they have ways to drain the dampness from your spleen. This is a good way. In the Western side of the medicine, we would say this is diuretic properties or fluid retention and things like that. If you're talking about Ayurveda, this will be something like high kapha with a little bit of pitta. So you get to know the different verbiage of a herbalist, and if you're a herbalist that studies biochemistry like me, you should already know that there's different mechanisms of action in this. There's polypeptides in here that is controlling how you stop bleeding. Things like tyramine, promine, acetylcholine all act as astringents and also stop and decrease the amount of bleeding. So if you ever ask anybody what can stop bleeding, use the shepherd's purse. Peace.